a weekly broadcast that breaks down each Eagles game better than anyone else. The Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show is broadcasting live from the Great American Pub in Conshohocken and is heard on both 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM and is brought to you by the Great American Pub, Independence Blue Cross, Penn Community Bank, Fogo de Show, and Hand and Stone Spa. We now go live to the Great American Pub in Conshohocken for the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Domowitch and Paul Jolovitz.
And welcome, everybody, to the beautiful Great American Pub in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. This is the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM. We're going to dissect the Eagles' win, ? Yes, it was a win yesterday with my co-host, Paul Domowitch. Domo, how are you doing?
Doing well, Jolly.
Good. We not a lot of us are doing well today after that win. We'll talk about trying to pump ourselves up. We got to pump ourselves up with it. I love. He is a man. Energy is his middle name. He is former Eagle defensive tackle. 14 years in the NFL.
15, but who's counting?
15, but who's counting? We are. Shades and all, Mr. Hollis Thomas. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Good to have you. Thanks for having me again. It's always a great time to come and hang out with you guys and talk a little football.
We love having you.
Yeah.
I guess first question.
Okay.
20-16 over a challenged team like the Browns.
Yeah.
I mean, a win is a win is a win, and they're hard to get in the NFL, and you know that.
Yeah.
But to me, style points mattered yesterday.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any.
Yeah. You know what? I was actually at the game, and I did a Q&A with your friendly neighborhood Dave Spadero. And one of the things that I was saying was it depends on how we win. And I think that we've grown up. Because I said the team needs to grow up. My guys up front, especially the defensive line, have been stuck on blocks like Velcro. You see us being you're not even in the right position. You're in the right gap, but then you let the pressure off the offensive lineman, and he just pushes you by the gap. We're getting ran through like a track meet. There on their third. We playing against the Cleveland Browns, who are on their third and fourth string offensive line. Yeah, we should. I was expecting us to come out.
And they lost their center 2 plays into the game.
2 plays in the game, and not only that, the guard. They were starting the guard, a rookie guard. I was like, when you play. When you're supposed to be the best, you're supposed to lick your chops when you come out at a team like this. And I think the reason why we just squeaked by was because I don't feel like we're mature enough to come out there and kick a team's butt like we're supposed to and make them quit. It's like I knew it. Put it this way. I knew that they were going to stick around in the game for as long as they possibly could, because defensively. And then the other part too, I'm going to give you guys some pearls here. The other part, too, was I knew that the team was going to be playing for Deuce, that they would be playing for Kevin Stefanski and for Swartzy.
You say Deuce Staley's for the
Deuce
Browns.
Staley, yes. Deuce Staley is with them now. And then you figured that the whole team is going to band together and try to play for those guys to get the win, because they unceremoniously left here.
Damo, did style points matter yesterday to you?
Yeah. I mean, it would have been catastrophic to lose. I mean, they threatened to lose the entire game. And won, and that's good. That's fine. But, I mean, Nick admitted today at his press conference their emphasis going into that game was to start fast.
Yeah, start fast and finish strong.
No points in the first quarter.
They,
oh, my God.
For the first time in franchise history, they have not scored a point in the first quarter in their first 5 games.
5 games.
They have one first down on their first possession in 5 games.
I have a quick question for both of you guys, because I was sitting at the game, and the first play we get 4 or 5 yards running. Why the hell were the next 2 plays passes?
Because the Eagles, for some reason, Hollis, don't realize it, and we'll see at the Meadowlands Sunday, obviously. Okay. Saquon is their main course.
Thank you.
They try to get tricky with these scripted plays, with this, with that, trying to pry into the opponent's gaps and their defense. Damo, scripted plays mean something, but the Eagles need to give the ball to Saquon, establish a run, play boring football, go from there, but they got to be tricky, don't they?
Well, I mean, you can go fast forward to the end of the first half. Mm-hmm. They got a 3rd and 1 after making 4 tush pushes already in the game. 3rd and 1. It's a no-brainer. You give it. You have Jalen do another tush push. You got a first down. You get a couple more plays, and you might get a touchdown to end the first half, or at least a field goal.
Yep. What do you do?
They call a timeout. They come back. They call a pass play, and he gets sacked.
Yep.
And they end up trying a field goal that results in the blocked field goal that results in a 10-10 tie at the half.
Now, do you guys because my esteemed colleague from the show, Vetted, shameless plug, it's each and every week, Tuesday and Thursdays, 6 to 7 p.m. on Apple TV and Roku. So, but we were talking about them thinking that trying to be the tallest midget in the room. And it's like, can you reach the rice checks? Yes, I can. But it's like instead of going through all that rigmarole, we have a...
Why rice checks?
Because the dwarf can reach white checks.
Corn checks, cinnamon checks?
No, but rice checks are up there.
Sugar
They're delicious.
All right.
But so I've told him this on many different occasions. They think that they're the smartest person in the room, and they think that the opposing team is not thinking. On that play that Dom was talking about, I saw the blitz coming. I was like, he's about to get sacked. Yeah. Because they lined up everybody in every gap, and Schwartzy's not going to sit back and let you pick them apart.
He's aggressive.
Yeah, he's aggressive, and I thought, and I don't know about you, but I thought that cooler heads would prevail, and we would, turn around and hand the ball off to get the first down and live to fight another down. No.
I'm going to give Nick a little benefit of the doubt there. I mean, because he's not going to tell us.
Is it Nick or Kellen you're talking about?
But Nick. Well, you're right. But
Kellen.
Since they call a timeout, I'll say Nick. But I think what they were going to do, theoretically, was on 3rd and 1 when they called the pass play.
Right.
If they didn't get it, if it was incomplete, then they would have run the tush push on 4th and 1.
But when they come up,
but when you get sacked and suddenly it's 4th and 6.
But when you get that and thinking that when you come up and you get that look that we got. If I see that look, I'm calling something else.
Yeah.
Because I see everybody was lined up in the gap, and it's 3rd and 1. I know that they're coming. You know why they're coming? Because they think you're about to run the ball, and they want to get you in the backfield.
I think Jalen is still in the learning process of protection calls.
It's
a whole new offense. Everybody keeps saying that, but it's like it's a whole new offense and a whole new defense.
He's done it twice now. Myles Garrett, in my opinion, the best defensive player in the NFL.
Yes, he is.
You ever do what he did twice now?
Who?
Jump over the center.
Well, he
blocked the kick.
Well, you thinking of the kid from the Giants who did it against who was they playing? They were supposed to lose to the Giants in Seattle when they did it. The kid Simmons did it versus Seattle.
As long as you don't use somebody as a springboard, you can do it. Yep.
It's
a hell of a play.
I know, but you can't land on top of nobody either. Like so when you jump over, you have to land on the ground.
You ever see that, Tomo?
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times.
I mean, Myles Garrett's just a friggin' freak, isn't he?
Well, him and the kid Simmons out with number 19 for the Giants. He did it effortlessly, and it was great. But to even get there, like you guys were saying, you can't think that you're smart all the time. Smarter than everybody. How many times? Put it this way: how many times last year did we see the damn wide receiver screen? If I saw that one more time, I was going, dude. It's like it's so much crap going on. It's like we got two of the best receivers in the NFL. I was like, okay, now you couple that. We got an awesome tight end, and now you
who got hurt right away.
Oh God! Yeah. And then you couple that with one of the best running backs in the NFL, and we're not using them.
Yeah.
Tom, what about these injuries? Jordan Mailata, obviously Dallas Goedert, Darius Slay. They're building up. We just got a bunch back. Now you go to New York. A lot of people say the Eagles have the easiest schedule in the NFL remaining. Obviously, the trouble at the Meadowlands. And now they got a new set of injuries, which is going to happen in the NFL.
Yes.
The Mailata injury is the most relevant because
left tackle.
Yeah. I mean, believe it or not, I think they could survive Goddard for a while. Calcaterra's turned into a decent receiver.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's had time to morph it. He was great in college, so and that's and I think he's getting that opportunity to do both now.
As far as Slay, I mean, Cooper DeJean steps in yesterday and plays really well.
You know what? And I'm glad you brought that up, so you guys don't have to be the bad guy. I love Slay, but I don't like the thing that he did. I know you guys didn't talk about
podcast.
The podcast with Michael Parsons.
That's why you're here.
I hated that. As a former player, I didn't even talk. You know how long it took me to talk to Eric Williams, and he's from Philly. You know how long it took me to talk to when he literally we were standoffish. We were at a club together because his wife is from here, and I was like, dude,
he's from here.
Yeah, he's from here. Yeah, but his wife is from here, and he lives here. So I was like, I was like, dude, I don't mess with cowgirls.
Is it different now with the players? I know you were only 25 years ago, but players today, players back then,
you
different?
throwing 25 years around like now.
Social media millennial.
I think it's I think that's kind of what's wrong with the game. It's less
Less antagonistic?
Well, not so much antagonistic. I think the kid, the Greek Freak, said it the best. He's like, I don't practice or play with anybody else that's not on my team. It's like, I don't care what you're doing. I was like, it's cool, and I wish you the best, but just I'm not showing you what kind of shape I'm in. Show you my strengths or weaknesses.
You see a big difference in the players of the 80s, 90s?
Yeah.
And the players of today?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wish somebody. Did you ever see one? Did you think that after we heard the Cowboys kicker back in the heyday, you think it would have been cool for one of them to come and exchange jerseys with the Eagle?
Soccer thing.
I was like, man, come on.
Exactly.
I was like, but then I didn't like the fact that he went back and forth when the fans showed their displeasure. He went back and forth, and then you start putting up your past credentials.
Oh, by the way, my wife and I were so upset after the Eagle game that we turned the TV off. Did anybody know who won the Dallas game yesterday? What happened there? Dallas going against a Detroit team that was ripe to get beat.
Yeah.
I love Dallas in that game. McCarthy, his offensive genius, when they tear him apart, what happened?
Did you? You forgot it was Jerry Jones' 82nd birthday as well.
That's right.
And it was a surprise to him. And the funniest thing was watching the pregame leading up to that. And Teddy Bruschi talking about the special teams. Well, the special teams for the Cowboys are going to show you something. And everybody looked at him like, dude, are you smoking something? Have you been drinking before the show? And I was thinking that the Cowboys were going to get murdered, mainly because last year they cheated the Lions out of that game.
I thought the Lions would really run it up to them, didn't you?
I got one question for you, Damo. When you saw the chicken little flea flicker to the offensive tackle,
yeah,
and he scored, what were you thinking? I was like, are they playing?
Are the Lions the best team in the NFL right now? Obviously, the Cowboys, the East, that's another thing. But is Detroit? I mean, you got to show it in the playoffs. But how for real are they? I think they're very for real.
I'd put them right up there.
Better offense than the Eagles, better talent? I think so. Because I like Goff. He's playing great football.
Healthy. And, I mean, I don't know. We still don't know. I don't know what the Eagles are right now.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, the one positive yesterday offensively was Jalen didn't have a turnover.
Yes.
But they didn't force any.
He's going to have to do it more than once. But
you're correct. It's like we were before the show. I didn't want to give it to you before the show, but the one thing that we haven't created is identity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was saying, the team needs to grow up.
Yeah.
Just like the game yesterday, everybody should have been pissed that we barely squeaked by a 1-4 team with a decimated offensive line.
With a bad quarterback.
With a quarterback who's reeling. He's probably gun shy because I don't know if you've seen him. And then you got everybody's doing the same thing. The only good player that I feel like they have is Miles. Their defense is good. Yeah. Their defense
couple good linebackers.
Yeah, no, their defense is extremely good. But then on offense, it's just their tight end is really good because all the starting offensive line is not there. So it's like I felt like we should have throttled them.
Yeah. Should have throttled them.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were in the red zone one time.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
9 points. But Hollis, we got to take a quick break in a second. But people say we didn't turn the ball over, which is true. Yesterday, you watched the game. At least I got the feeling that they could have played 80 quarters. They never would have got a turnover. They weren't playing.
Thank you.
You got to play fierce. You got to hit hard. You got to play with emotion.
Yeah,
Seems like that wasn't there.
Oh, when you look at it, I know you have to go to break, but that's why I said that's the part of growing up. It's like you saw a lot of guys out of play, out of position rather, and I still saw the big guys when they making tackles. When you make a tackle as a big guy, you run your feet. You don't. This is not college. That guy's not going down when you just hit him and don't run your feet. Sorry, the coach in me comes out when I'm watching a game like that, and I don't see the big guys using their technique to perfection. Because if you're a big guy and you have technique, you should be a terror out there, and our big guys aren't doing that.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about a couple other guys, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. Hollis played a position called defensive tackle. Are they doing their job? Also, Jeffrey Leary, the owner, with the coach, Nick Sirianni. What's he thinking today? Dom will talk about that. We've got a lot of nice people here with the show. We appreciate it. The Great American Pub in Conshohocken. We're back with the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff right after this. Stay with us, folks.
Since 1991, the Great American Pub in Conshohocken has been offering an authentic and memorable experience for guests looking to dine in or enjoy the bar and nightlife. Located at 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken, the Great American Pub has all your craft beer selections and some of the best food options anywhere. While you're there trying their buffalo chicken spring rolls or Maryland crab cakes, enjoy your favorite sporting events on their numerous televisions surrounding the bar. Visit them at 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken or learn more online at thegreatamericanpub.com.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
A truly unique dining experience awaits you at Fogo de Chão. Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700.
We now return to the Great American Pub in Conshohocken for the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Domowitch and Paul Jolovitz.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show, live from the Great American Pub in Conshohocken. If you can spell that, that's cool. Don't forget, you can watch the show live at WBCBSports.com and YouTube Live by searching WBCB Sports. Hollis Thomas, our guest, Paul Domowitch, our co-host. Hollis, Eagles got a bunch of players on defense that Vic Fangio is trying to put in the right situations. A kid they drafted 9th last year in Jalen Carter.
Yep.
Kid they drafted in the first round a couple years ago in Jordan Davis, who played your position of defensive tackle. Then on the edge, of course, they have Brandon Graham, played his 200th game yesterday.
Awesome.
A couple edge rushers in Huff and Nolan Smith, who got a sack yesterday somehow. That's part of the 5. But I want to focus on the defensive tackles.
Okay.
Obviously, you're not going to have 20 sacks
Right.
from those guys. Is Jalen Carter, who had a great game a couple games ago, and Jordan Davis, are they consistently going to be good players in this league?
They got to build. That's what when I say grow up, that's what you have to do to be a starter in this league. You have to, a difference between the starter and the backup is just what you said, consistency. It's like when you look at them now. I don't know if you looked at the game. If you looked at the game again, like I did. It was constantly them being in the proper position, but not using their technique to get off blocks. To me, it's lazy.
Yeah.
It's like you have to get off. You have to dish rag the guy because he's trying to do a job and you're trying to do a job. So if you if you're not definitive with getting rid of the blocker, he's going to come back and block you. And if you look at a lot of the runs yesterday, we had a guy in position, but he just got pushed by. And when you get pushed by, that means it's this thing we call letting the pressure off of the offensive lineman. So when you lock out the lineman and you get ready to get rid of him, if you just release the pressure, he's going to come back get into you because you think you just because you got like right here and you're in the gap and you go to tackle, but you didn't do this. That's all I kept seeing yesterday. They were letting the pressure off, and then when the guy come over, he just get pushed by, and he get like 8, 9, 10 yards, and we were getting ran through. And it was the one thing that I didn't like also is our edge guys. Nobody was setting the damn edge like they're supposed to. And I know what the hard part is watching it and knowing that they're coached to set the edge. It's like when the outside guy goes inside and that guy goes right.
It's fundamental football.
Thank you. I was looking for a word. And I was like, it's fun. They're not fundamentally sound, and that's just part of growing up. It's like as a pro, you're supposed to know these things, but even when they go over them, because you know they went over tackling and it still didn't look like it, but you know.
But guys, both of you, I mean, this is a ridiculous question, but we're talking about the NFL, guys who have gone through every level, are obviously fantastic football players.
Right.
Everybody in the NFL is, and they can't tackle. It's like a baseball player that doesn't know what a baseball. What is that, Tomo?
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous.
When you look at these first 5 games and the run defense, like Hollis was saying about people getting pushed around, unable to get off blocks, too many of the runs against them are easy. Yeah. I mean, it's not yards after contact.
Yeah.
They're not touching them until they're 5 yards downfield. Jordan Davis was going to be the big sun blocker in the middle.
I thought so.
Ajomo is playing better than he is.
Big time.
Yeah. Milton Williams playing better than he is.
What's the other kid's name?
Milton Williams.
Yes, Milt, and there's one more kid, Mo. What's the kid's name?
The Samoan kid.
Yeah. It's like when you look at it, it's like those guys.
Yeah.
And it's you see it. He's like, wait a minute, you guys come from Georgia. You guys were doing great. I was like, but it's like, and I think it's more so that if you don't work on your craft, and if the coach is not constantly telling you, that's why I say you have to grow up. It's like because the coaches, as a coach, I'm just coaching you. I don't tell you what to go work out. I don't tell you to stay after practice and work on getting dish ragging blocks or work on driving your feet on the tackle.
But how many years does that excuse work? I'm not in shape. I'm not ready.
It should never work. It should never. Once you start getting paid, it shouldn't work. Yeah. That's the thing. Once you start getting paid, it shouldn't work. And it's it. And that's why I like Coach Fangio, because I think he's probably the only one of the coaches left that could get it out of him. Right. And I think something's going to happen where he's not going to be starting, and because the other guys that we're talking about are going to be getting the job done.
He's already. Bryce Huff wasn't getting the job done. And you look at his snap count, he's not out there.
Yeah, I know. And
he got a sack yesterday.
Vic won't put him out there.
Bryce Huff didn't get no damn.
Amelia Earhart, Bryce Huff.
Jordan Davis, same thing.
Wait a minute. Bryce Huff got a sack yesterday?
Yeah, half a sack.
No. He had it. No.
Zero was actually out there.
Yeah.
Nolan Smith, too.
Well, Nolan Smith made a play or two here and there. But, and you're right, these guys are highly touted coming out of college and stuff. And they just haven't been getting it done.
Pop the ball out. No turnovers. That drives me crazy.
Here's the thing.
You know how you get a turnover, though? You have to hit somebody.
First man hit, second man go for the ball.
Yeah, Jalen, during the offseason, I remember an interview with him. He was talking about how he had lost weight, how he's in the best shape of his life, how, I forget what his eating habits were. But, when your team's got a cafeteria and a dietitian who will make you meals.
Not only that, Don.
Make you 10 meals a day.
I know, but not only that, when everybody else is eating, they color-coded things. A green light means you can have as much as you want. A yellow, not so much. And a red, stop.
People don't realize, Hollis. If you've ever been in the NovaCare complex, and every NFL team has this, they have a chef who will make you anything anytime, take it home, whatever. What's that got to be like? That's got to be cool.
Well, he must be telling them to make funnel cakes.
I know. Well, yeah, because it's like, I'm thinking to myself, it's like when I played it. I hate when I say that. When I played, it was close. It was close to that, but it was just on the cutting edge of it. But I got to figure now that they try to monitor everything. But I don't know what he's doing to continually be overweight and out of shape.
I don't think his motor is.
Well, we thought it was.
Caliber.
I think the heart is the part you're looking at there.
I think Jalen Carter has an NFL motor.
Yes.
He's just immature right now, and so that he still can't play 4 quarters every week like you want him to.
Right.
Jordan Davis, I just don't know that he's ever going to be what everybody expected him to be.
Yeah. The funniest thing is they remind me of Richard Seymour and Sullivan. You remember Sullivan?
Oh, yeah.
You remember Sully who was with the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah.
Seymour ended up getting drafted by the Patriots. Yeah. Turned out to be a
poker player now.
Well, but he used to in college. It was the opposite. Sully was the quote unquote the beast, and Rich was just kind of there. Now, when you get to the pros, it seemed like a switch came on.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch topics for a second. A lot of people in Philadelphia upset about this win that seemed like a loss. We know about the Browns. Kevin Stefanski from the University of Pennsylvania, by the way.
Oh,
and Deshaun Watson. Yep.
Okay.
Jeffrey Lurie is a guy who's most people portray, and I think is, from my personal dealings with him, an honest human being, a good human being. He wants to win. He may meddle a little bit, but that's an owner's right. Damo, with Nick Sirianni's actions on and off the field, chirping in the crowd, the press conference, do you think Jeffrey Lurie is happy with that this morning? His team is not where he thought it would be. His coach seems more concerned with show than results. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. What do you think Jeffrey Lurie is thinking?
Well, I don't think Jeffrey cares about the fact that Nick brought his kids to the press conference. Chirping with the crowd might be a little different. The fact that if you're winning, he probably is going to look the other way.
30 every week.
I think what's happening. I think one of the things that's happening with Nick, which leads to chirping with the crowd, is he doesn't have enough to do.
You're right.
He gave up the play calling for the most part. He seems to interfere at the wrong times.
Okay.
But he's got nothing to do except be the CEO, head coach.
Yep.
And so that's that results in things like that.
Yeah, you know what? I never thought of it like that. And to me, it was kind of funny because it's like that one guy who's working, who's always a constant worker, and then he's working to get ahead, and then now he finally gets ahead. And now he has nothing to do, so he just picks fight with random people.
Do you think Lurie was sitting up in his boxer yesterday going, I can't believe we're not killing these guys?
But,
I
was just going to say, like, with Kyle Shanahan, who's so into, it's his offense. He runs it, calls the plays. When the defense is out in the field, he's still he's talking to the quarterback.
Yeah.
I know.
Nick's like, what do I do now?
What?
Now he's just kind of watching the game too. And it's like,
so he hears things.
Well, yeah, it's like
he's worried about his haircut.
That's really bad.
I could care less.
But it's like the one thing that I think that I wish he would be more in tune with and get a post-sports team. And and it's like, because I think that's the main thing that they're trying to get him to do is get a post-sports team so he will be able to make those timely calls or get him fired up. It's like, cause it seems like he's not himself anymore since he's not making the calls. And it's kind of like when a guy gets that promotion that he's been fighting for and he gets up there and it's not what he thought it was going to be.
Well, I saw Jalen's after the game was asked about Nick's behavior. And Jalen said, well, during the bye week we talked to him. We told him to be himself. And
Jalen telling somebody to do
and I'm
something.
thinking the players are telling the coach how to act. And it's kind of like there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about that is because sometimes, just like you said, when they take like certain things away from you, it's kind of hard to be yourself anymore because they take stuff away from you. So you're just kind of like a fly on the wall.
Did he make a deal with the devil? Though Doug didn't take that deal. He left.
Yeah, he left.
Nick did take that deal. Now he looks like a sap to a lot of people.
Well, when you say a deal with the devil, I think it's more so he knew that the coordinators had to go. So I don't know, but then I don't know if I would have given all of that power away.
But to be fair, in Washington they got a kid named Jaden Daniels who's playing great ball. They lost yesterday, but you know who his quarterback coach is?
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson.
That made Brian Johnson not calling the plays.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. And when Brian Johnson was a quarterback coach here, Jalen Hurts did great.
He was the NFL MVP.
I think some people have their level.
Now you say because somebody else put that crap up there, and I was like, he's not calling the plays.
But
it's like
Brian Johnson wasn't calling the plays last year either.
Yeah, he was.
Nick was.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That was I was laughing at that entire time. It was like it wasn't a game plan even made up. They didn't. It's like they were just calling plays. If you look at everything that we didn't do anything to combat the max blitz.
Here's the thing. Last year, first possession, Eagles scored 6 times in their first 7 games.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
This year they can't do anything.
Nothing.
So doesn't seem to matter who's calling the plays.
No.
Well, if you call a run on the first play and 2 passes in a row,
I think the scripted thing bothers me. I don't care if you're trying to pry.
Well, you know why the script bothers you?
Why?
Because it's not working.
It's not working.
That means that they're not well planners.
But they're doing things that they don't do well. Saquon Barkley.
Say it one more time.
They're doing things that they don't do well
exactly.
to try to point the other team's weaknesses out. Do your strengths. Don't worry about their weaknesses.
Thank you. That's what the smartest person in the room, or who thinks that they're the smartest person in the room. They always and then they get mad at the crowd because the crowd's like, "What the hell are you doing?" But it's like you run on get 4 or 5 yards on first down and go back for 2 passes in a row. Now in a microcosm, that reminded me of one time we was running the ball down somebody's throat, and now all of a sudden Big Red threw the ball 3 plays in a row. The offensive line was livid when they came off the field. I was cracking up. I was like, because I had never seen them get pissed because it was like run in, Trey, and everybody's like, basically we're mowing them down.
Yeah.
What the hell's going wrong? So it's like, and sooner or later we got to get some players with that type of cachet to know what to do.
All right, when we come back, we're going to look at the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Statistically, had an okay game. The receivers were back. They did well. A lot of people don't think he played that well. I'm going to find out what Damo thinks. He's a quarterback guru. And Kenny Albert, his 500th NFL game. Kenny Albert is a great guy. They kind of made a little bit too much of it on Fox.
You think?
Very happy for Kenny Albert, although we found out about it the entire game. We're back with the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff from the Great American Pub in Conshohocken. A lot of people here having a good time. So are we. Hopefully you are too. Back following this.
Since 1991, the Great American Pub in Conshohocken has been offering an authentic and memorable experience for guests looking to dine in or enjoy the bar and nightlife. Located at 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken, the Great American Pub has all your craft beer selections and some of the best food options anywhere. While you're there trying their buffalo chicken spring rolls or Maryland crab cakes, enjoy your favorite sporting events on their numerous televisions surrounding the bar. Visit them at 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken or learn more online at thegreatamericanpub.com. United States Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick is your independent voice, proudly serving the Pennsylvania 1st District. Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick is focused on solutions and protecting your families. Brian Fitzpatrick is for all of us and is proud to serve all of us, and good luck to all our student athletes in tonight's game. The proceeding paid for by Fitzpatrick for all of us.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
A truly unique dining experience awaits you at Fogo de Chão. Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700. Since 1991, the Great American Pub in Conshohocken has been offering an authentic and memorable experience for guests looking to dine in or enjoy the bar and nightlife. Located at 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken, the Great American Pub has all your craft beer selections and some of the best food options anywhere. While you're there trying their buffalo chicken spring rolls or Maryland crab cakes, enjoy your favorite sporting events on their numerous televisions surrounding the bar. Visit them at 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken or learn more online at thegreatamericanpub.com.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
We now return to the Great American Pub in Conshohocken for the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Domowitch and Paul Jolovitz.
Alrighty, the Eagles played home 27 days prior to yesterday. They played a 1 o'clock game. They play another 1 o'clock game this Sunday. This was one of the games, a low-pressure game. Jalen Hurts, not having the year he did 2 years ago, turned the ball over a lot, running, passing. What do we have in Jalen Hurts, Tama? What is he right now? I mean, he's not what he was in 2022. He's been through 12 offensive coordinators, but so have a lot of other people. What is he?
Work in progress in a new offense.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that their emphasis yesterday was on going out and get off to a fast start. He went 0 for 5 on his first 5 passes.
Oh my God!
And that was great after that.
To his credit, after that, 16 for 20.
Yep.
No turnovers, like I said before, which is the most important thing that came out of that game. Made some nice throws.
Yes.
I mean, I question the intelligence of him and AJ making the decision to throw that deep ball when you're trying to kill the clock.
If you're a defender, Hollis, I mean, they're taking license, running a play with a huge amount of risk.
Right.
Where it works, you're a genius. If it doesn't, you're an idiot.
Right.
How do you feel about that play?
You talking about if I'm on the sideline?
The 39-yard play, yeah.
Did he catch it?
Yep.
It's cool. He caught it.
That's right.
But if he don't catch it, I'm pissed.
That's right.
Yeah, kind of
It's
like the Saquon play.
it's kind of like this. Like when we'll be watching film, and then you do something, or you're being a player, but you make the play. Now the coach will tell you, he say it was a great play, but you better be damn sure that you make that play.
That's right.
Because if you don't, you're going to be standing next
Well,
to
the
me.
Saquon play didn't work a couple weeks ago. This obviously was different, but
Well, that's Saquon don't have the hands of AJ. And I would have said, and if you
I
wanted
would
my
have caught that ball. What are you talking about?
Well, you stop it.
My wife would have caught that ball.
The thing
the thing with that on that particular one, if we talk, remember when we were talking about the tallest midget in the room? Turn around and hand the ball to Saquon.
Yeah.
He was killing it. He was killing them on the ground already. Yeah. Turn around and hand it to him twice if you're gonna do it. And throwing the ball, which looked like a great play, but just had the kid the ball.
I like the fact that he was more aggressive as a runner yesterday.
Yeah,
because he has to. He has to be I mean, they need.
You got to
that.
be who you are.
But no, it's like. But you know why he wasn't aggressive as a runner at first? Because he used to get hit in the backfield.
Yeah.
It's like if you watch the first few games, and I don't know if you guys, because I'm a jerk. I pay attention to stuff like this. So if you remember the long run against the Saints.
Yep.
You see, go back and watch and see him hesitate. Like, damn, that's a big ass hole. It's like, and then he took off. But it's like it's kind of like if you go back and watch McCaffrey when he first got to San Francisco, it was the same thing. When you've been behind a bad offensive line and you used to get blasted as soon as you get the rock, or making a move as soon as you get the rock. It's kind of like,
How about a guy who had maybe the worst offensive line in football and who's not exactly Usain Bolt, Burrow running 47 yards for a touchdown last night.
That was interesting. You know what the funniest thing? I was like, he was. They didn't really do anything after that though. Yeah. And it was pretty funny though because he pulled. It was like sometimes they play that man under coverage only because they didn't think he was going to run. And he's a smart quarterback. He started running. He said they ran it back to back. If you saw, you remember he had another long run, and he was like, I can't believe it. I know he was like, I can't believe they're running this again.
All right, Hollis. Here's a question for you. Asked this last week. This is never going to happen.
Okay.
It's a total philosophical question.
Okay.
Forget the salary cap, just talent, age. Washington calls you tomorrow.
Okay.
Says we'll trade you Jaden Daniels for Jalen Hurts. Straight up. Yeah. You say?
No.
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 I say yes. You, Domo?
You know why you say yes? Because you only saw a sample size.
I have, but I'm really impressed with what I've seen.
I'm impressed with what I see too. But remember, this is the NFL. Stands for not for long. If you go and make a decision like that, because what's going to transpire is they're going to get them on tape, and all those little cute nice passes. Yeah. It's about adjustments, but it's like, I'd rather go with what I got, and know what I got. Than to try to get that. It's kind of like going to get that new toy. Put it this way, kind of like trying to go after that new girl. And the new girl is going to cost you probably half your house and your car.
Good.
Teams, he's right, because it's like you look at Jalen in 2022.
Right.
Teams looked at the film during the offseason and figured out what we need to do against him, what are his weaknesses, and it was blitz the shit out of him.
You're allowed to say that on here?
Yep.
Yeah,
anyway,
but you already said it. It's too late now.
And that's what happened last year. And it took him the entire season, to deal with it. He never did. But he's gotten better at it now.
I think the one part about last year versus this year was you actually had and this is only from what I hear. This is from only from what I was privy to is like there was no real adjustments to that. If you notice that and that's what I was saying about like Jaden Daniels, somebody's going to find a formula to slow him down. And then it's a copycat league. Everybody's going to copy that down. I like to see what goes down once they get him. But like right now, he's killing. And Caleb Williams finally got,
He's playing better than I thought he would.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not a big fan of his, but he's been better than I thought he was.
Well, initially I thought he was going to continue doing the crap he was doing at first. I was like, this isn't college, dude. These are athletes. He's trying to take off at times when he should have just threw the ball and got rid of it and run around in circles and stuff like that. He stopped doing that and made quick, decisive decisions. That's another thing that I love about Jaden Daniels is like the quick, decisive decisions that last year our buddy Jalen had got away from doing.
All right, offensively, it seems like with this team, guys, we pay attention to the players. Devontae, AJ, Dallas, Saquon, Jalen, the offensive line, you know they are.
Right.
Defensively, we pay more attention to the coordinator and how he moves the chess pieces. You were that chess piece, Hollis. Is Vic Fangio not the most aggressive guy in the world. He may not have the 85 Bears to work with.
Right.
What do you think about the job he's done thus far?
Thus far, I think he's He's done decently because it's like I think as I'm watching tape and stuff, you see the guys who know the defense but don't know what they can do. So so when you draw say I got my playbook here on my notebook, and I draw the lines. You know where the line's supposed to go, but then down here is a little integral, the attention to detail, and I think that's what he's trying to teach all these guys: the attention to detail and being a team player. And that because sometimes some guys can go helter skelter like we see sometimes and be out of the gap and stuff instead of doing what you're being coached to do, and knowing it's a reason why they ask you to be on time. It's the reason why they ask you to do certain things. So it's attention to detail, and I think he can get that out of them.
And there's something, Damo, that's in addition to that. You can have attention to detail. You can do what you're supposed to do. But there's a thing called football instinct. That a guy that's been here for 200 games in 15 years showed a few times yesterday on a couple different plays. How does Brandon Graham find the fountain of youth?
Well, as long as they don't overuse the fountain of youth.
They almost did.
Yeah,
because it was one that Tampa Bay game. It was like him and our guy Milt and Ojo. And Ojo. They were the only one playing. They were the only one playing. And to what I didn't mean to totally interrupt you, but he's a pro now.
Yeah,
he's a seasoned pro, and so. The way he's playing, you can't expect all the younger guys to play because you see how long it took him to get to that, and so it's.
You almost played with him. You came within 3-4 years, right?
Well, I was playing with the. I got traded to the Saints by then.
Yeah, but 06 you retired, right?
No, I didn't. I retired to 2010.
Oh, retired in 2000. That's right. You came here. You were here till 06.
I was here till 06, and I got traded to the Saints because there's somebody brought it up to me that was like, you were on the Saints team that throttled us in 06. I was like, yeah. I already knew Andy's playbook. I knew the first play was play action fake.
There we go. Dominic Cooper Dezine played yesterday, starting at slot, Avante at backup. You're looking for nuggets and second-round draft choice, returning some punts, but defensive back-wise, what did you see from Cooper Dezine?
He played terrific. I'm really impressed. I mean, somebody was asking me, should they even go back to Slay? Well, I don't know. When Slay's healthy, you're still using Dezine. You're going to have 3 DBs on the field.
Yeah, but same time. I got a question for you too, dude. How do you think Kylie Wong played?
I'm sorry, who?
Kylie.
Oh,
Kylie. Kelsey?
No, the DB. Ringo.
Oh,
Kelly Ringo.
Yeah. Kylie Ringo, my bad. I don't know why I call him.
He had some good and bad. Yeah.
No, he didn't have nothing bad. Everybody thought that he passed interference.
Yeah.
And you look, that dude face mask grabbed him. I was like, how can you? I was like, you guys don't see that
very often.
Well, not. Well, you don't see anybody grab the face mask like that very often. And it was like I just think that he's going to come on later. He's a bigger, faster.
I agree.
I think with like you saying. He's talking about with Slade being the way he is until he gets totally healthy.
Yeah.
I would go with the young guys and kind of use them in a combination type thing because the times must and always will change, and you have to at some point you have to let the guys know that what some of the stuff that he's doing it's not somebody called him a front runner. Slade, they call Slade a front runner. And I was like, and then it wasn't until they said, I was like, oh, okay, that's what's wrong.
All right, Domo, that the linebacker position, a lot of people see what Nakobe Dean did, 12 tackles, whatever, said he doesn't cover well. I don't care how many tackles he has. Zach Bourne played well. A lot of people want to see Trot, some because of the obvious legacy thing. Are you happy with the way Nakobe Dean is playing?
No.
Pretty much am not.
No.
Why?
It's inconsistent. I mean, he had some more missed tackles yesterday.
Not only that, Donald, did you watch? You had to watch. See, when you look at the way the defensive line plays, a lot of it has to do with that triangle in the middle. And he's not. It's like if my guy gets double teamed, if I got double teamed, I thought Trot. I should the crowd cheering. You know why? Because Trot should shoot the gap. Trot would shoot the gap and make the play. I don't see that. I don't see that with him.
Instinct.
Not only instinct. It's like. Some of the tackles he's missing, some of the times he's not fast enough to recover from being shaken up. So
Nakobe's a smart kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which surprises me that he seems to be playing still on his heels. Like he's a step slow with everything.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of those missed tackles are happening, because he's taking bad angles. He's not where he's getting there late.
Yeah.
How good a coach? I mean, we can talk about this all day. Howie, we haven't mentioned him tonight. Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. How good a coach is Kirby Smart? I mean, he's got all these guys primed and ready, and then they get here. It's
let's
happened?
let's see at the end of the year what we got in Nakobe Dean. See, I think what Vic's doing with a lot of these guys, we're seeing a lot of screw ups now.
Right.
Yet we're still seeing them buckle down when they get to the red zone. So they're he's not going to put people where they don't belong until they're ready to take that next step. Like yesterday we saw them. I mean, with Cooper DeJean, I think he has a lot of confidence right now. They used him as a blitzer 3 different times, and he was very effective.
Yeah, very effective, yeah. And it's like, but it's like, tell me this, when and watching, now it was a couple of some of those tackles, the 12 tackles, were downfield, and it was big. It was because of him that he missed the tackle. He had to come back and make the tackle. We're talking about Nakobe, and he was out of position. To me, he was out of position a lot, and I think he needs to do a little bit more studying.
Yeah.
And I saw on the heel play that's the part that I think we have to get away from and especially later in the season. I'd like to evaluate him in about 3 or 4 more games.
Well, we'll see. And tonight we got another game, Monday Night Football, the Bills and the Jets. A certain ex-Eagle has changed agents. We'll ask these guys if maybe Hassan Reddick will be back. Plenty of other stuff to talk about as we go around the NFL. Again, Dallas got edged by Detroit yesterday. This is the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff. We thank Chuck, we thank Jerry, we thank Guy here at the beautiful Great American Pub in Conshohocken. We are back. Final segment with Hollis Thomas, with Damo, right after this.
For guests looking to dine in or enjoy your favorite sporting events on their numerous televisions surrounding the bar. Visit them at 123 Fayette Street in Conshohocken or learn more online at the Great American.
Across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying
Fogo de Chão awes patrons with their history and tradition of authentic Brazilian steakhouse, offering many cuts of decadent fire-roasted meats prepared over an open fire and served tableside by trained gaucho chefs. Fogo de Chão, 1337 Chestnut Street in Center City, Philadelphia. For reservations, go to www.fogo.com or call 215-636-9700.
We now return to the Great American Pub in Conshohocken for the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff Show. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Domowitch and Paul Jolovitz.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Great American Pub is where we are every Monday night, 6 to 7. John Spagnola is our guest next week with Paul Domowitch, our guest Hollis Thomas. Monday Night Football tonight sees the Bills a 1-point favorite over the Jets. Bills lost 2 in a row. I mentioned when the Bills were 3-0, let's put the brakes on this Bills stuff. Let's put the brakes on this Josh Allen stuff. Now the Jets have fired their coach Robert Saleh. Aaron Rodgers being implicated in this because he fired Robert Saleh. I wonder why, but another guy fired, his agents fired him, Damo. CAA fired Hassan Reddick. He's hired Drew Rosenhaus, who's going to be at the game night. Expected deal in a few days. What the hell's going on with this Reddick thing?
He's stubborn. I mean, it's a matter of pride.
Now, it's okay, so I know Hassan.
Okay.
Kind of neighbors, but when he explained it to me, I was like, oh, okay, I see. Because I think a lot of teams want you to play the same amount of snaps, but they don't want to give you the same amount of money. That's like, and sometimes you have to just stand your ground. And some people's like, but he's losing. I was like, not really. I was like, because he's already made a nice amount of money.
We could retire today, I'm sure, but I'm sure he wants more. Obviously,
yeah, you want more, but you don't want it. You don't want them to dictate to you like they're doing. I was like, so.
But why is he the only guy in the league? I mean, other people get disrespected, underpaid, whatever you want to say. Why is he in this situation?
He's not other
in
people.
Week 6?
I know, but he's some people. It's like once in a while you find one guy who's going to stand up for what he believes in until the end, and he's one of those guys.
Die by the sword, Damo?
I don't think he's dying by the sword.
I don't think he is either.
But because let me before you answer that, Damo, put this in your answer as well. So the game we had against the Atlanta Falcons, all we had to do was stop them. And we couldn't close out it. We just spent all that money on Bryce Huff, who's got 1.5 tackles. And remember, Jalen Hurts and Brandon Covey have 1 tackle.
If Howie had to do it over again, I would guess he would think a little. The problem is they can't trade for him.
Yeah,
it's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal. Yeah.
So that avenue's closed.
Yeah.
Do you see him signing this week? Seems like new agent, new momentum. I expect the Jets to win tonight. If they do,
I don't expect them to win.
No one is going to give him what he wants. So he's either got to change his stance.
Yeah.
And like Hollis said, he doesn't sound like a man who's. I mean, if he compromises, he feels like he's lost, right?
Right. And the one thing I think he probably wants a 2 or 3 year deal or something like that, and I think they probably could come to a compromise.
It's about the guaranteed money, not the
It's like you're correct. It is about the guaranteed money. I was like, and they also could have released him before the season if they were worried about the guaranteed money, because if you're not on the roster as a veteran, your salary's not guaranteed those first few days. But they kept him on the roster. And it's one of those things where they need him as well.
Let me ask you something. Last year, I mean, he's not with the Eagles anymore because of the contract situation. Mm-hmm. But one of the reasons they were a little bit more willing, supposedly, to trade him was they felt that, like, at the end of last year, he was freelancing. Yeah. That he kind of he started it and everybody else started doing it, and their pass rush went to hell. Yeah. I mean, did you see that?
Nah, I thought he stayed outside a lot, and I thought the one thing that tended to crack me up was there's some of these freelance. He's a pass rusher. Yeah. Why the hell was he dropping in the coverage? Why the hell was he? Who was he covering? What he covering? Saquon one time? What the hell was that?
Did that happen a lot with teams you played on? Grizzled veterans with the instinct to do this said, "I don't care if we're in B81. I'm doing this," and then
that never happens. It's like, but I know what you're talking about. But I think more so his. If you look at it, a lot of the guys' numbers went down because we lost 2 or 3 guys in the middle. They used to crush the pocket, and it was like, and even Sweat numbers went down. Yeah. When you have those guys in the middle that can crush the pocket, and the quarterback can't step up and move around, the guys on the edge are going to.
It's all about the tackles.
Well, my trusty compadre Hugh Douglas, he would always say, "I can't do what I do without you."
All right, Damo, we like to talk about this every week. Hollis Thomas tonight.
What you got?
5 games, 6 games in the NFL season. The byes have started. Mm-hmm. Minnesota's 5-0. Got teams playing better, worse than they should. Got players, Lamar Jackson playing great. Jaden Daniels playing great. The biggest surprise in the NFL to this point, yesterday in mine, Damo, is?
I'll let Hollis go first.
So your biggest joke, what do you mean?
Biggest surprise of this year in the NFL.
Biggest surprise?
Player,
team or individual?
Team and
both.
Team and individual. Sam Darnold and the Vikings.
You expect it to continue?
You know what? He's. I kind of do, because I feel like their defense is this is their second year rolling with Brian Flores, and they seem as though the one thing that I wish I'd be glad when our defense does do it is if you pay attention to the communication that those guys have, where everybody's on the same page, and then we have yet to do that yet, and we, like you said, not only is Nakobe playing on his heels, a lot of guys are playing on their heels because they know the defense, but they don't know the defense. They can't be the player that we expect them to be.
When are they going to know the defense? Fans might say week 10, week 12, easy schedule.
Well, no,
I think see the real Eagles.
But I think within the next couple of weeks they're going to start learning what they can and can't do. I was like, because it's like you ever pay attention to when a big time defender goes to another system or goes to another team, and that first year is kind of like sticking up the joint, and then the next year he's on point. It's because he can roll off instinct, like you guys said. But to your question about that's the biggest surprise. The biggest surprise is Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Another one,
Darnold. I mean, Darnold has Aaron Jones too, which has helped. Having a run game. Baker Mayfield to be this dominant.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I mean, he's putting up. Putting up MVP numbers.
How many quarterbacks have 4 TDs and 3 picks?
But here's the thing about Mayfield and Darnold. Look at them; they were both declared busts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they're on their what? They're both on their 4th team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Geno Smith also.
Yeah. But what about Kirk Cousins? I think he still sucks, but come on. 500 or something. Did he have
509 yards.
Dude, it's like he's like during the regular season, and now that he's did some things prime time wise, they might be, that team is a little bit of a surprise to me as well.
Yeah. And again, with Kirk Cousins, he's got Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier running the ball to set him up. So
and he's one of the best at
why
the play
not?
action.
We've got Saquon here. So
thank you.
Let's let Saquon lead in this. We got the worst turf in the NFL. A game at a stadium the Eagles have trouble with, the Jets, the Giants, at the Meadowlands on Sunday. This team needs to play well. They need to inspire the fan base. 3.5-point favorites over the Giants, who have sputtered, tied for the division lead with the Commanders. What do you expect Sunday, Damo?
They better start out quick on this one and take control.
Yeah.
It's not a gimme.
No.
They have
Giants defense good.
The Giants have a good defense, and Daniel Jones is not a bad quarterback.
Is he, Hollis?
He's god awful.
Oh no.
It's amazing. I've never seen a player where so many smart people have such difference of opinion. I think he's okay. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's great.
He's
you
horrible.
think he's fine? You think he's horrible?
I think he's horrendous.
Why the difference of opinion?
Did you see the interception he threw yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, he makes some bad
highlights.
plays.
Well, what? Did you see the Minnesota game? Come on, man.
He doesn't.
And it's like
his receivers are probably
his running drives Eagles
in the
crazy,
bottom 10 in the league.
Well, this in a microcosm. This is how bad he is. I don't know if you guys remember one of the blackout games where he was on the long run, and I'm sitting there. I was like, he's going to fall, and he fell. Literally tackled himself. That's how bad he is. Put it this way.
Not allowed to trip once in a while?
Were you by yourself in the open field? Are you kidding me? And and I was sitting there, I was like, I could already hear the Looney Tunes music chiming up. Because he broke out, I was like, oh, he's gone. Oh, no. I got no.
What about he's got Neighbors now, Damo?
That Neighbors is hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's not going to play
I don't
Sunday.
know. He might not. I don't know if he's gonna play Sunday, but I love Neighbors. He's telling us to wrap up. I love Neighbors, and Sladen doing good, and they have a decent one of the kids, one of the young kids.
Lawrence is going crazy on the defensive
line.
Yeah,
he's killing.
Giants lead the NFL in sacks.
Yes, and they have a decent young running back. So it's not like you said. It's not going to be a cakewalk.
No.
And
expect to win, Damo?
It'll be catastrophic if they lose.
Yes, tell me if they lose, I'll be back here on the show so we can talk real trash.
We'd love to have you back on the show.
I'm around now. My show is on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Apple TV, Roku, and the Fire Stick from 6 to 7 p.m. live on Apple TV and Roku.
That's how if you'd like to come back here this year, we'd love to have you. Always love having opinions. You get them with Hollis Thomas. We've had him tonight at the Great American Pub in Conshohocken. Great shop, Hollis. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thanks, man.
Damo, thank you as always. Giants game next week. Good stuff. We had great help tonight. As always, Chris Herman produced this show. Gus Barber back at the station. A great crowd tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with John Spagnola from the Great American Pub in Conshohocken with the Independence Blue Cross Monday Night Kickoff. We had a great time. I hope you did too. We're back next week. Go Eagles, everybody.
Go Birds.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.
The crown jewel